everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. Before we go too far, I want to apologize in advance in case you hear what sounds like construction noise out the window. They're repaving the parking lot in front of my apartment, so it's probably going to be about about a week of that. So any background noise you might pick up in this or any other video is probably related to that. So again, advance apologies on that. We're taking a bit of a break from the Cthulhu mythos this week to finish up my Tac Up Wargaming list. We had a bit of list drama earlier in the year, but it's all been sorted out now. The short version of that, my original 2023 release was going to be Air Raid Pearl Harbor, but that didn't end up getting released to this point in the year, and it looks unlikely to be released this year at this point. With Air Raid Pearl Harbor being swapped off the list, Atlantic Chase slid into the 2023 release spot thanks to its reprint earlier this year. Today we're going to play the new 10th and final game on the list as we play Target for Today from Legion Wargames. This game drops us into an American bomber over Nazi-occupied Europe with a very heavy narrative focus. We'll see how the story unfolds in this mission, and we do have a bomber all set to go as the crew of the B-17F bomber Phoenix's Fury is waiting for us. So let's go meet them. So here's our mission log. You can see this is you might be able to see, I'll bring it up closer. This is actually the third mission this bomber crew is going to be flying together, because I actually had to play a couple of practice missions just to get the feel for the layout of everything on the channel. But you can see our various turrets that we've got here. We've got the radio gun, the nose gun, left and right cheeks, top turret, tail gun, ball turret, and left and right waist. And you can see our bomber crew as well. And we've got some friends of the channel. In the bombardier position, we've got Jester. He's the one who will unleash the bombs. Navigator's Rough, like it sounds, in charge of telling us where to go. Pilot and co-pilot are Patrick and Matthew. And then a few made-up names as well. Engineer and top turret is Angel. Then we've got Cypher in the radio room. Diablo on the ball turret with an air victory. Wolf on the left waist, Sage on the right waist, and Tiger in the tail turret. So you can also see the ammo limits for each turret there. The radio bottoms out at 10 to the ball turret, and left and right waists at 20 ammo each. So that's the Phoenix's Fury. Let's move over to the main game area and set up today's mission. The first thing we need for this mission is a target. So we're going to roll. So we've got a chart all ready to go that we're going to be rolling on. We're going to be rolling 2 D10s. The blue D10 will be our tens digit. We've got 2 D10s in here. Blue will be our tens digit. White will be our ones. So let's see what we roll here. Let's see, a 69 is going to send us to Ruin, where we're working over some marshalling yards. I'll just make some notes off camera here. Okay, I think the next thing we need to roll for is... it should be our position in the bomber cell. I'm just trying to see... Well, I will also need to set up the... I'll need to set up the zone worksheet. I'll see to that in a minute once I find our target in here. Okay, this shouldn't be too long a mission. I'm just double checking here. Oh, right, formation position. Where's the chart for that? That's the hit chart. Pre-mission steps table, that's what I'm looking for here. Okay, so first we're going to roll... a D6 for the position in the bomber. So we're on... I'm not going to point out every single chart. We'll roll on it once, and then we'll call it after that. So I'm going to roll on the combat box cell position chart. Based on the result, I'll consult the chart. Let's see, that's a 2, so we are in the high cell. So, high cell, And then we roll 2d6 and consult another chart for our bomber cell. Here we are. Let's see, a 10 has us rolling again. A 4, puts us as bomber number 7, so we're the cell leader. That's not going to be good. But I'm going to do a little bit of paperwork off camera, then we'll come back with hopefully the mission ready to go. It might be a little bit hard to see, but I think the best place to look is... Actually, it looks like we can look from a couple of views. So if we look at the top view, we're actually going to be this bomber right here. So we're the leader of the high cell. Then we're this bomber right here from the front view. And then from the left side, we're this bomber right here. So it's maybe a little bit hard to see that, but we've got everything all set up. You can see our crew tokens over here. Unfortunately, no representation for the actual crew names. We've got our fire extinguishers over here. I'll zoom back out so we can also see the game board. Maybe move that just a touch. I think in that case we're all set to go. So let's get the bomber airborne. First thing we need to do is determine the weather over the base. 6 is good weather, so we are about to start there. Now we need to roll a d10 on the takeoff chart to make sure there are no problems on takeoff. And 8 says everything's all quiet. So now airborne over zone 1 on the strategic mission track, which is this track over here, and I've also got all the turrets, all the points that we can fire from. So we are airborne, which means we're ready to rock and roll. So let's get... Yep, okay, we've assembled our bomb group and we're ready to start for the target. So that'll move us into zone 2, at which point now we have to roll for... Actually, the first thing we have to do is we have to roll for the fighter escort to determine what kind of coverage we're going to have in this range of zones. So I'm on another chart off this camera. A 3 says we're going to have poor cover. That's not great. And unfortunately, that's for the entire mission. Delightful. Okay, so now that we're into zone 2, now we have to roll for the weather in the zone. A 3 means we're starting off with hazy conditions. Now we have to make sure there are no mechanical problems. An 80 says we have no problems there, so we're fine. Now we have to determine if contrails form, which can potentially cause problems for us as far as finding bombs, as far as finding our enemy fighters. It'll be a 1 to 3 contrails form, 4 and up, no contrails. 9, so no contrails form there. For now, we're considered in formation. Now we roll a d10 for fighter resistance, and right now we have poor cover, so we get +1 on our roll. +1. That's a 1 + 1 is 2, so we're facing light resistance. And then we roll a d10 on the fighter chart on the number of fighter on 5-2 to determine any fighter waves that we're facing, and we're a -1 because we rolled for light resistance in the first zone. 7 - 1 is 6, so we're only facing 1 wave. Next thing we need to roll for is we're going to roll 2d6 to determine what's coming at us. And we'll read the black as our 10s and red as our 1s. So 65 means that light resistance, we've got nothing coming at us. So we're all fine there. That was a nice quiet first wave. So now zone 3, which sends us right back to rolling for the weather. And since we had haze, we don't have any kind of modifier on this one. 5 is still haze. Any kind of mechanical problems? Let's find out. $77, all clear there. All right, do we have contrails forming? 3 plus 1 is 4. Wait. 3, yes, we do have contrails, actually, which can potentially cause us problems. I think it'll cause us a +1 modifier on the fighter resistance level in the zone, so let's find out what we're facing there. So we're actually a net +2 on this. So 8 plus 1 is +2 is 10, so we're facing... So we're still in formation, we're facing heavy resistance, which means our roll here is a +2. Five plus 2 is 7, so we're facing 1 wave. Let's see if we can get another roll like we had on our last mission, or our last zone, but it looks like everything here is going to have us facing fighters except for certain rolls. That's a 13, which will have us facing 3 FW-190s. So let me find these. We'll get to see our first instance of combat in this game. FW-190s. I want 3 of the plain ones. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, a 13. Where are they coming from? 12 o'clock high, 130 high, and 3 o'clock high. Now we can only attack these with certain guns, but before we get to that, we need to figure out how many fighters, if any, our fighter escort's going to drive off. With poor cover, I'm not holding out any hope on that. Alright, that's a 10, so we'd be driving off 1 fighter with poor cover. We will drive off the one from... Which one's going to have the hardest time, the easiest time hitting? I think if we drive off 3 o'clock high, I think we'll drive off 3 o'clock high, just because that one will have the easiest time hitting us. Now we get to allocate our defensive fire from 12 o'clock high. I will assign the top turret and the nose gun to that. Try to drive it off. Then at 130 high, we will assign the right waist and right cheek to that one. But we need to figure out our skills for these 2 pilots, which will cause modifiers as well. So we'll use the same 2 dice that we have been this whole game. I'll use black to represent 12 o'clock high, and then red for 130 high. So based on the chart, 12 o'clock high is an ace, which will make it harder to hit, whereas 130 high is a green pilot, which will make him easier to hit. That is more than a little bit of a relief. So we'll take a quick look at our fighters. We'll see that the FW-190 will have 2 attack rounds potentially at us, assuming it can hit the first time through. Okay, so now we're rolling 2d6 against each of these fighters. I've got my 2d6 in my shaker. So we'll roll using the nose gun first. Nose gun is, I would say probably Jester using that one is what we'll go with. So now we're on the defensive fire chart, which means we get to see what happens here. Let's see, do we have any modifiers? We're against... So we're -1 against an ace. Looks like just -1. Good to know. 9 minus 1 is still an 8, so we do hit that, which means we'll roll on the damage table. Let's see what kind of damage Jester is able to do to the FW-190. So the nose gun is a hit. Let's see what kind of damage he does, if any. Alright, a 7 means against an FW-190, the fighter will continue the attack, but he'll be a -1 on his attack roll, so we'll put that there. So that's a hit for, well, sort of a hit for Jester, but I think the top turret is probably going to be him. No, the top turret is actually Angel. Let's see what he does. Six minus 1 is 5, so 12 o'clock high will still get to fire, but he'll be a -1 on the attack. As for the FW-190 at 130 high, we're a +1 to hit him because he's a green pilot. And I think that's it we get. 4 + 1 is 5, and then we were using the... We'll say that was for the right waist. So the right waist was a miss. And how about the right cheek next? That'll be a shot from right cheek. It's probably Jester again. See what we've got here. 7 + 1 is 8, so Jester will get a hit on that 130 high. Let's see what kind of damage he does. 5 is another fighter continues the attack. So the green pilot will be -1, netting out to -2, I believe. Yep, netting out to -2. So while the fighter at 12 o'clock high is an ace, his -1 cancels out. So now we're rolling, and we want to see him get less than an 8 or less. This is a straight roll for him. 8 minus 2 is 6, so that will be a miss for him, which means he'll break off since he didn't hit us. As for the guy at 130 high, he'll be a -2 because he had a fighter continues attack roll as well. 6 minus 2 is 4, so he is definitely breaking off the attack. I did roll... Okay, yeah, that was the right cheek that got the hit. Okay. So we can pull that out of the way. Then we'll move into Zone 4. Rolling for weather first. Once I find my weather chart in here. There we are. So Zone 4. 4 brings us back... is still a hazy day. Fitting because it's actually pretty hot out here. Let's see if we have any kind of mechanical problems. 54, no mechanical problems there. Do we have contrails forming? We do not. No contrails there. We're still in formation. Now we have to see what kind of resistance we're encountering. It's a straight roll. Actually, we have a we should have a -2 or -1 on this roll. Right? Is that how this works? I haven't been taking that into account. I believe it's a yes, on 5-1. So we're a -1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we have light resistance once again, which will be a -1 for the number of fighter waves that we're facing for that roll. So a 4 minus 1 is 3, which means we're not facing anything. So they break off. And now we are over the target. So we're in Zone 5, which is over top of the target, which means we start with the... So a special procedure for this one. Which means we start off with the weather like normal. 8 is, I believe that was 100% cloud cover. No, it's 50% cloud cover. Where did I put my pen down? Oh, here it is. 50% cloud cover. Let's make sure we have no mechanical issues. No mechanical issues there. Do we have contrails? 3, we have contrails. Still in formation. So now the next thing we need to do is we're actually into a special set of charts. We need to roll for the visibility over the target. It's a lot of flipping back and forth between charts, so do be aware of that. Here we go. So we take a D6 and we roll for target visibility. Two means it's slightly obscured, so we can mostly see what we're aiming at. Okay, so no modifiers to rolling for flak on the target, which requires another D6. A 1 means we have no flak. So we don't have to roll for any flak hits. Nothing there, which means now we get to roll for the bombing run. So that'll be it. Actually, we have to roll for... Hold on, did we... Oh, we have to roll for the... We still have to roll for fighter attacks first. So we're still a -1 on there. I will use this chart. So we're still a -1 on the fighter attack. Fighter resistance. Let's see. Oh, that was a D10. Never mind. Hang on. Wrong dice. Now that we got that figured out. Okay, we're a D10, so we're a -1 because of cloud cover. 5 minus... Actually, we're a net of -2 because we have 50% cloud cover plus a -1 modifier for being over France. So -2 is 3, which means we're facing moderate resistance this time. So we're a +1 on how many on the waves we're facing. 8 plus 1 is 9. We're facing 2 waves. So let's see what our first wave is. We need a 2d6. So we're under moderate resistance. 33, I think. Oh no, never mind. It's an FW 190. Let's do FW 190s once again. Let's see, 33 coming from 1030 low and 130 high. So 1030 low, 130 high. Okay, now that we've got that figured out, now we have to roll for what kind of cover we get. Ten means we get to drive off 1 fighter, but no... Okay, so this is a 1-0. So we get to drive off 1 fighter now, but we don't get any in our next round. So I will drive off 1030 low. And then to 130 high, what do we want to assign? I will assign... Well, we'll just throw everything we can at it. We'll throw the top turret. It's been a pretty quiet run so far, thankfully. Top turret, this is 1030 high. So top turret. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Right cheek. And do we get to throw the right waist at this one too? Yes, we do. So we'll throw the right waist at it. Then we got to roll for his skill. A 1 says he's green, so that'll be very helpful for us. Which means, remember, he'll be a -1 when he's going to hit us. We're a +1 to hit him. So we'll start off by rolling for the... We'll roll for the top turret first, which will be another jester shot. Actually, no, top turret is an angel shot. Eight plus 1 is 9, which is a hit, so now we get to roll for damage against the... So now we get to roll for damage against him. Boxcars means the fighter's just destroyed, so Angel will get a possible kill. So a possible claim for Angel. Which means that fighter comes completely off the board. We don't even have to fire anything else at it. Which is a relief there. And then I think since we established that we weren't going to have any flak... Oh no, we still have a second wave to roll for. Never mind. Getting ahead of myself, as usual. So now we've got to roll for our second wave. We're still under moderate resistance. 56. Possible random event with no attacks. So we have to roll on the random event chart and see what happens. An 8. German captured B-17 shadows your formation. Add +1 to the die roll and table 5-2 in the next zone only. Can be rolled more than once. So 5-2 is the number of waves. So I'm just going to make a note of this. Alright, and then since attacks are over at this point, now I think we get to roll. We didn't have any flak that were coming in, so now we get to roll for... We get to roll on 6-6 to roll for the actual bombing run to see how it went. Do we have any special kind of modifiers here? I don't. Right, target 1 if the... Oh no, we have no modifiers because the target is not obscured. So we have to roll at least a 2. We have to roll at least a 3 to be on target. A 6 means our bombing run is on target. So now we roll 2 more d6 for the bombing accuracy. Okay. A 5 means our bombing run was 40% accurate. That's not terrible. Alright, so that's all done. Now we're going to get ready to turn around and head for home. But before we start heading for home, I need to take a small break. We're starting off with another round of flak over the target because we have to spend another turn in the zone as we're turning around. 5, ouch, this time the flak picks up. So this time we have medium flak. Right, now we have to roll 2d6 to determine if we get hit with anything. Hopefully not. A 10 says we don't, so the flak misses us. Okay, so resolve combat per the procedure in section... So we go through another procedure of fighter combat, essentially, in... Right, so okay, so we do go through another round of fighter combat. So, that'll bring us back to our fighter combat once again. We determine resistance. 2 is light resistance still, or is light resistance this time, now that we've hit our target. We're -1, actually we're -2. Oh no. We were minus, so I believe that was a 2 minus, that all canceled out, so 2 is still light resistance. Which means we're -1 on the chart for waves, which means we're not facing anything on the way out. So, now we're starting to head for home. We're back into zone 4. Which means we have to roll for weather. So now we're outbound. 7 is 50% cloud cover still. Let's find out if we have a mechanical failure. Actually, I don't think we roll for that now while we're outbound already. Yeah, might as well. I think we still do. There are definitely problems that can still happen on the way in, on the way back to base. Nothing there, all quiet. Let's see if we have contrails. Ten says we don't. Still in formation. Let's see what kind of resistance we're facing. This is all a straight roll because 50% cloud cover is canceled out by the poor fighter escort. 2 is still light resistance. So -1 determining how many waves, -1 on the roll to determine the number of waves we're facing. 4 -1 is 3, so still no waves. Thankfully it's all quiet there. Zone 3, we start all of that again. Starting with the weather. Oh boy, 9 is 100% cloud cover. Let's see, let's find out if we have a mechanical failure or not. No mechanical failure there. Find out if we have contrails, but I don't think it'll cause an additional modifier. No contrails there. We're still in formation. We have to roll for resistance. We're actually -4 between, actually we're net -3 because we have a -2 from the gazetteer, plus a -2 from the 100% cloud cover, minus a +1 for the poor escort. So we're net -3 on this chart, on this roll. 3 - 3 is 0, so we have no resistance. Which will bring us to Zone 2. Starting with the weather. I was forgetting to add modifiers for cloud cover in previous zones. So we're at +2 on this weather roll. 6 + 2 is 8, which brings us up to 50% cloud cover. Any mechanical failure, we'd be bailing out over... Wait, we're over England right now, so I don't think we have anything to worry about on that. We'll roll for a mechanical failure. Nothing there. NA, I believe, means we just don't roll. I guess I didn't realize NA could be something that comes up from the gazetteer. Always means no German fighters. Okay, so yeah. Which means now we're actually going straight to the landing, so we're back over Zone 1. Right, so we'll roll 2d6 here. Any kind of modifiers? I don't think so. Weather over base is... Well, let's roll for the weather over the base. We do need to roll for that. Which brings us back to table 3 once. That's a d10, which is right here. Eight is good weather back over base. Okay, so now... Alright, so we roll for weather, then we roll 2d6 on the landing table. So there shouldn't be any kind of modifiers here. I'm expecting us to have no problems here. Yep, no modifiers from the looks of it. A 3, whoa boy. That actually brings us in safe. Okay, cool. So we landed and we're all safe. Now we have to roll for credit on our bombardier, on our bombing run. So the only one who had a potential shoot down was Angel, which means we'll have to roll 2d6 to see if he gets credit for his aerial victory. Snake Eyes means he gets told to get bent, so he doesn't get his credit for his victory. But that will do it for this mission. This was actually a pretty short mission. So let's move back up top for the after action report. That was actually a pretty smooth mission, all things considered, with our crew still kind of learning the ropes a little bit on flying together. But it helped that we were also only having to go as far as France in this one. Also helps that we have a navigator who's somewhat native to those parts, so he was able to guide us very well. Nice job on that, Ruff. But that is actually it for this playthrough of Target for today, and that wraps up my Tac Up Wargaming list for 2023. It's been a very enlightening experience, and we're going to have a full list retrospective to talk about the 10 games on the list. I'm expecting that video will be sometime in the next couple of weeks, possibly as early as tomorrow, but we'll see how the schedule unfolds. In the meantime, though, in more immediate scheduled videos, Sunday we're playing Terra Mystica, and we're moving forward about 50 some odd years next week as we debut another air war game, this time from Danverson Games. Next week we're going to play Hornet Leader, Carrier Air Operations. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.